Welcome back to the MCP workshop series. We've covered all four pillars: data, AI, API, and MCP. Now let's talk about what we're going to build. The full hands-on tutorial is linked in the description with complete source code for every stage. In this video, I want to walk you through the big picture, what you're building in each chapter, how the pieces connect, and the key concepts you need to understand before you start. Before anything, make sure you have Node.js 18 or above, VS Code with GitHub Copilot, and an Autodesk APS account with application credentials. The workshop site has a prerequisites page that covers all of this. Set it up first. The workshop has 5 parts. Each one adds a new layer to the system. In the first part, you set up the 3 core components of any MCP system. At the bottom, you have the host. That's VS Code with Copilot. It's the application the user interacts with. Above it, you have the brain. That's the MCP Client, the LLM that reasons about what tools to call. In our case, the brain is powered by whatever model Copilot is using, whether that's Claude, GPT, or Gemini. And on the right, you have the hand. That's your MCP server. It's a Node.js process that exposes tools the brain can call. You create a file called server.js and it registers 2 simple tools: add and greet. The connection between the brain and the hand goes through the MCP endpoint. There are different transport options in MCP: Stdio, SSE, and Streamable HTTP. We use Streamable HTTP because it works over the network and is the current recommended standard. 2 things worth mentioning here. First, register tool takes 3 arguments: the name, a config with description and schema, and the handler. The description is what the LLM reads to decide whether to use this tool, so write it clearly. Second, the input schema uses Zod. Zod validates every parameter before your handler runs, so the LLM can't send garbage. By the end of this part, VS Code Copilot discovers your tools and calls them through natural language. Part 2 is simple but important. You add a getWeather tool that calls an external weather API from inside the handler. The architecture doesn't change. Same host, same brain, same server. But the server now reaches out to the internet. The tool handler calls OpenMeteo API internally and returns the result. The key concept: the MCP client has no idea what happens inside the handler. It sends a tool call, it gets a response. Whether that response came from a local calculation, a database query, or a third-party API, the protocol doesn't care. This is what makes MCP tools so flexible. The handler is just a function. What it does internally is your business. This is where the architecture changes. Using 2-legged OAuth and exposes 2 tools: list buckets and create bucket for the object storage service. The brain connects to both servers with separate MCP connections. This is MCP's one-to-many model. One client, multiple servers, each owning its own tools. No proxy layers, no delegation. You just add a second entry to your MCP.json and Copilot sees all the tools from both servers as one united set. You just add a second entry to your MCP.json and Copilot sees all the tools from both servers as one unified set. This is the architecture pattern that matters. Each server is independent, reusable, and can be developed by a different team. You don't need a single orchestrator. The protocol handles discovery and routing. For authentication, the key component is 2-legged OAuth. This is app to service. Your application authenticates with the client ID and secret and gets a token that sees everything the app is provisioned for. No user login required. Part 4 adds user-level authentication to the same APS-server.js. The server now has 2 additional routes: /auth/login and /auth/callback. And there is a new tool, getUserInfo, which returns the Autodesk profile of whoever is logged in. The key concept is 3-legged OAuth. Unlike 2-legged, where the app authenticates itself, 3-legged puts the user in the flow. The user opens a login URL in their browser, signs in with their Autodesk account, and the server receives a token scoped to that specific user's permissions. This is the human-in-the-loop pattern. The agent can't force a login. If no user has authenticated, the getUserInfo tool returns a message saying, please open the login URL. The user stays in control of when and whether to grant access. After login, the same APS-server.js supports both app-level operations, like creating buckets, and user-level operations, like reading profile data. There is also a fifth part where you build your own MCP client and wire in an LLM to see how the agentic loop works under the hood, and a production checklist that covers what needs to change before you ship any of this. Both are in the tutorial. That's the full workshop. 5 parts that take you from writing your first MCP server to connecting real Autodesk data with user authentication. This is the end of the MCP workshop series. We started with the 4 pillars: data, AI, API, and MCP, and finished with a working system that puts all 4 together. If you followed along, you now have the foundation to build your own MCP servers, connect them to any platform, and start building intelligent tools for your projects. Thank you for watching. Leave your questions in the comments, and I'll see you for the next series.